You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who, disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
Alrighty, hey everyone. This is Sunday afternoon on iWalter. Trying to get my show started. I just keep on getting distracted, so I don't know how far I'm going to get. Hopefully, I will get somewhere. I didn't do a show yesterday because I was actually out with a friend last night. So because of that, it was kind of not. When I got home, I didn't feel like doing a radio show. He actually did give me a lot of good information, so I have to thank my friend Matt. He actually has a web link. Maybe I'll have to put it on my Spreaker page somehow, for musicteacherguy.com. He actually has his own music business. He gave me some very helpful sites. He, I guess it's nice to hear somebody's listening to my show and actually giving some feedback. Matt did correct me, which I asked him about some. I don't want to say he corrected me, but he did help me clarify about something I read the other day about this guy. I can't remember his name. It's not that important, honestly. Stating that he's going to give more funding to, I guess, or take funding away from, people that are retired, elderly people, and put it towards road construction. So he's, instead of taking away from people who probably are capable of getting a job, he's going to take it away from people who really need it, like the disabled and elderly people. I can't remember his name. Matt told me, and I honestly, it's not that important at this point. Not what I really wanted to discuss, but I wanted to thank him for at least clarifying that. Bottom line, it was some liberal website, which I kind of suspected, and far left liberal website that I had quoted, and again, not important. But my friend Matt actually did give me some helpful information. Otherwise, too, he steered me towards, and I just emailed two different women. They're anti-feminist women, but they actually kind of say what I say on a daily basis, with confirming that I am not going crazy and it's not me. So I did email the one woman. She actually instantly emailed me back, so I thank her for that, and I promised I was going to. Karen, I can't say her last name. I don't want to ruin it. Straughan or something. She's a really smart lady, and I asked her, can I use, her, what she speaks about in my podcast, and she wrote me right back, instantly, and said, no problem, just make sure, give her credit for her podcast. And it's that's not an issue. I appreciating Karen getting back to me so fast. That was really nice of her. Basically, she's just saying that, she's a rape victim herself. She basically quotes that. She says that a majority of the rapes that take place, I'm probably misparaphrasing her, so I apologize about that to Karen, is actually more amongst men than it is women. I mean, it's still there, but women just seem to, I guess in her words, I'm going to have to listen a little bit more of her stuff, is they victimize themselves way too much. That's something I've said numerous times, and they just make men that, it's just the way men are brought up too, that they are, that they should withhold their, if they say, oh, I'm being raped, and she mentions this, that it's kind of like downplay that you're a sissy, or you're a weak person if you're a man saying, hey, I've been raped or been sexually assaulted. But she says that there is more violence against men than there is against women, in this whole thing that the feminists try to push. But my perspective is because it happened to me today from another friend, not Matt, but another friend, where I basically, and Matt actually supported me, so thank you for that one too, Matt. Where somebody sent me a picture of some girl I work with, where this girl, I'm not going to mention her name, but she's obviously looking for a husband, and she makes it very obvious. I've heard this. I've been in this building that I work in at my job for 3 years. And, I've seen everything. And there's this one young girl. She looks like she's 18 years old. She's actually in her late 20s, early 30s. I'm guesstimating. She comes to work in these things called compression pants that her ass is basically just hanging out. She's strutting up and down. I used to be with her on day shift. She's in a different position than I am, job position. And I maybe talked to her maybe a handful of times. But in the past 2 years, I have not mentioned a word to her. It's just irritating how, I come to work and it just makes me very self-conscious. She'll walk around all day. I mean, it's a job that's a professional job. It's not a fitness center. It's an actual professional job. We make products for not only this country, but for other countries. And she walks around. She gets away with doing very little work, just because she's a beautiful looking girl. She wears these compression pants and these halter tops, these like workout outfit tops. And every guy is always, and most of these guys are married men, will comment on, oh my God, did you see what she was wearing today? Did you see her ass? Do you see how she was dressed? And I make a comment. A friend who does not work where I was found her on Facebook and her pictures, and he sends me a picture and a private message. And, I jokingly wrote back, oh, I'm in love, because, commenting how other guys at work just drool all over. And he writes back, well, you better not get caught for you're going to get stalking charges against you for me making that comment. So it's stuff like that. And you know what? The repercussions, this backlash I get is more from other men than I get from women, believe it or not. I do get some, what do we call, nonverbal communication. It's not spoken, but it's understood from women that they just treat me like, I'm some type of criminal. That was another thing. I got to find this one article I found where I mentioned it the other day. There was these 2 African-American kids that were luring women on Facebook for dates, and the women would come invite them over their houses, and the guys they were brothers too, these 2 African-American kids, were holding these women up at gunpoint and robbing them blind, literally like robbing them of everything because of these women just being so naive. And that bothers me too. So these guys, and they looked, I hate to say it, I'm not just stereotyping, I'm not trying to, please understand that, but they looked like thugs. So obviously these women knew what they were getting themselves involved with, but yet they felt safe around these guys, and I'm looked at, a average normal guy, as being a serial convicted rapist, which I am none of the above. I actually, to defend myself, I actually worked in a daycare at one point, and also, in addition to that, I actually worked, it was a practicum I did years ago for one of my earlier degrees. I got a degree in counseling, and I had to do a practicum, basically an internship at an after-school program where you had to get a background check to make sure you had no previous criminal record, any sexual assault records. And I mean, this was, even that's like 20 some years ago, and I still don't have any records. So how come I'm looked at, and these other people that these women seem to flock to do have records, criminal records, assault records, domestic disputes, but yet they are looked at as like, oh, they're safe. You can trust them. So when I got this comment today from, not my friend Matt, but this other friend, I normally don't mention people's names if I'm speaking about them. That's why I'm not going to mention the other friend's name. Apparently, right away he just jumped on the bandwagon saying, oh, you're going to get charged with basically stalking, you're going to get, the cops are going to come after you for stalking him, for me making a comment. And it got me really pissed. There's a guy the other day at where I work. He basically spent 8 hours watching golf tournaments on his laptop where he's getting paid $38 an hour to do that. I get paid $7 less than that, and I really had a lot of work that I had to do. Now, we do different jobs. His job is not my job. But I made a comment to him. I had seen Adina Menzel yesterday or the day before, and I made a joke. I got this. I didn't realize I got it. I heard it in Austin Powers, this one joke, and then a friend said it came from the movie Carrie, the original Carrie movie, where they used a paraphrase on Carrie, the character. The mother says, oh, you're showing your dirty pillows. And I made that joke with Adina Menzel. I said, yeah, she was so close, I was ready to grab her dirty pillows. I was joking. The guy said, yeah, you would have got arrested for that. So all of a sudden, everybody is like a saint, and I'm the one carrying the cross for, being crucified for making jokes. Now, years ago, I worked at places that, we used to joke all the time. Guys are going to make jokes about women and sexual jokes. It's just something you do in a closed quarter crowd or whatever, because I worked at a place that was all men. And we made jokes about that stuff. We acknowledged, we didn't hoot and holler at women. We just made our comments amongst other men. But never did I live at this point that men were so sappy and so disrespectful to me or other guys, and they said, well, you're going to get arrested if you talk like that, for something I said amongst friends. So it just really makes me like almost to the point I want to put my fist through the wall. I said that to a friend. So I told my friend, not the one who made the sarcastic remark, that this is what my podcasts are all about. I apologize again. I'm going to try to do some more research. But this woman, Karen, she's an anti-feminist, which is actually you have to listen to her stuff. She's got a lot of different YouTube videos. She's a very intelligent woman. And again, Karen, I apologize. I'm going to have to do more research. It's going to take a while, I guess. But she did state some real good factual things. I mean, it's just overwhelming, the stuff she pulls up. But she's not stupid. She does a lot of, I guess she goes to different universities and stuff, and she talks out and discusses the misconceptions about feminism and how the feminists are basically just destroying men. So I definitely say one of her links, by the way, is a voiceformen.com, and it says a voice for men a voice for men, humanist counter theory, and basically Karen challenges the feminist pilgrimage of helplessness. So that basically she's clarifying this. So women always act like they're being victimized, and she's saying this too, and she's absolutely right. So I'm glad I actually emailed her again. She emailed me right back. So I thank Karen for that. There's another woman who actually's got a blog page too, and it's really good. I thought I had it up, but she always starts her shows. I I actually emailed her. I'm going to have to look for her name. Her last name is like Davison, but it's not Davidson, because I think of Davidson, which was Peter Davison from Doctor Who, but her name's, this other woman I emailed, her name's Davison, without the D. It's not David. She also is on the same line as Karen. I'm going to see what her first name is, because I feel bad. Diana. This woman, she's a really cute woman, too. But she's very intelligent, too. And she starts her show, Feminism, lots of laughs, LOL, with Diana Davison. And she's got a lot to say, too. These are two rather, they were mentioned to me, well-respected women. They're very intelligent, and they're just fed up with all the bullshit of women crying rape or, I mean, Karen was a rape victim, and she's not letting it hold her back, or she's not making herself a victim. And Diana, I think, I can't say for either way if she was a rape victim. I haven't researched her enough, but what she says is very strongly opinionated, but in a good way. I know I don't speak very well. I'm not very clear on what I'm saying, but they both, basically, Diana and Karen, both have really good YouTube videos I'd recommend. That basically, you got these idiots out there, and I hate to say it, some of these feminist women that think that, you got to understand, we're victims, and we should be acknowledged for this. And, it's just like the minority group in our society of African American and other races that are disrespected. According to them, and yet they're the ones silver spooned everything to them to a large extent. Anyway, this one guy actually backlashed, and it wasn't on either one of these two women, but something, I guess, that was mentioned. Oh, sorry about that. And I'm trying to look. I sent it to a friend. Some wacko feminist. It's not either one of these women, because they would not speak this way. But a backlash on this one woman and saying how men are stupid, and that basically nice guys are just idiots and stuff like that. So this guy came back on this, and that link was actually. It's just basically, it's titled Response, Nice Guys Do Not Finish Last. And that's another one I'd actually recommend watching. So I'm going to try to keep that up for later on. Maybe I can just send these links. I want to put Karen's on there because she's got a lot to say. I think a lot of people need to. I think she's got a big following, but you know what? It never hurts to have more, because she basically speaks her mind, and, she makes a lot of very valid points. I'm going to try to go back to my Facebook page, because besides Karen, I want to keep her up. Actually, Karen Straughan, I apologize, Karen, if I said your name wrong. She's got a Facebook page, too. I thought I did see a Facebook page. She's got a lot of stuff people maybe post. I try to do that, too, for her. But she's got her own YouTube page, at least. She's got a lot of stuff. And, again, also Diana has some stuff, too. You'll see that stuff on my Facebook page. Yeah, but I send a link up from Karen that she personally sent to me on her blog stuff, and it's called Owning Your Shit. I'd recommend that. It's on my Facebook page. I put up a lot of stuff at Karen's already, and I'm trying to look for the other woman, Diana. Apologize, I'm just not prepared, I know. There's Karen. Okay, yeah, Diana Davison. Yeah, look for Diana, too. She's really good. So two good people. I'm actually going back to my Facebook page. There were some articles that I thought I went out to eat this afternoon. I thought I could kind of put up. Somebody actually put a funny picture, by the way, to make it a little lighter. And it shows a picture of a beagle, a beagle dog. and it says Bruce Jenner's cat, and it's a picture of a beagle dog. Some of these stories I honestly did not read in full motion. I was just needed to vent, to calm myself down from the sarcastic remarks I got this afternoon. I'm some type of serial rapist, and I should watch myself, Apparently nobody else is. They're all innocent bystanders. And it gets really old. I mean, with a country that is basically it's going to be worse than Greece, that holds no importance as much as how much I am destroying society. And there was actually something else I had seen, and it was about, I thought I put on my Facebook page, how like 4 billion people are in India. The population of India is like 4 billion people, but yet most of those people are only making $1.53 either an hour or a day as their wages. And they just seem to increase their population. Where is that going? Well, actually, I have no clue. But the thing is, it's going to happen in our country. We got so many people that are just dependent on welfare and government assistance that we're going to have, I would assume, just like, India and probably China, we're going to have a population explosion because people have no worries about taking any responsibility for their actions. They're just going to procreate and have children all over the place. Now, you can say, well, you have Planned Parenthood. That's a different issue, too, because that's a joke, too. There was a thing on the news for a few days where they were basically taking basically babies that were born alive from abortion and basically selling their body parts, making money, Planned Parenthood. That's a whole different story, though. Anyway, I'm just going to give you, because I really respect this woman, too. It's Laura Ingraham. She's a really hot-looking lady. I'm sorry to say that, but she's really hot. But she's a very intelligent lady, too. She really pisses off a lot of liberals. But she speaks her mind, and, unless you're a total idiot, she actually does say a lot of truth. Almost 99.9% of stuff, 100% of what she says is absolutely true. People just don't want to hear it from her. So, because a lot of people are idiots. Anyway, on LauraIngrams.com, it says video, LauraIngram.com. It's titled, She Rips Obama to Shreds with the Epic Monologue and Says What We've Been Thinking. So it's a video. There's nothing for me to read. So good for you guys because you don't have to listen to me, the few that do, like my friend Matt. You don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to have to look at it later myself. I'm not going to even try to post audio. It's not going to be the same as when you can actually see it. There was something on foxphilly.com, and it's I thought there was a story title to this one. Deputies suspect in beating of a 4-year-old had a nickname for his frequent beatings. Anyway, it says Sarah King and Sean Cody Sickler. It says that Fox 13. Basically, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the name. I know my friend made a joke about that. But the county deputies arrested 2 people in connection with the beating of a 4-year-old boy who had been airlifted to Children's Hospital by this man and this woman. So that's another thing that Karen actually said in her one thing that I was starting to listen to, that more boys are beaten than girls. They're more even sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, more so than girls and women. So that was pretty interesting too. That actually fits into what Karen would say, the story about the Sarah King and Sean Cody Sickler, that they were physically beating this poor little kid, this 4-year-old. Deputies said the boy's brain was swollen and bleeding when he arrived at the hospital, children's hospital, Sarasota County. Anyway, I'm trying to pick up where I left off, so I'm sorry I lost it. The boy's mother, Sarah King, told deputies the boy fell and hit his head in a kiddie pool earlier this week. Then he fell and his head he basically hit his head on a tree last week. So they've been repeatedly beating this boy to the point that his brain has now suffered hemorrhaging, and they're making up an excuse that the kid is just is accident prone. It said deputies said the boy was beaten by Sean Cody Sickler, who lived in the home. And it looks like Nocus, with the boy and his mother, along with several other adults and children. But yeah, I'll let you read the rest. But yeah, it's just that kind of supports again what Karen had said. So, oh yeah, here's what I was trying to mention before. I actually did post it just this afternoon on my Facebook page. It was from lifenews.com. Planned Parenthood defends selling body parts of aborted babies, calls body parts tissue. So Rush did talk about this the other day, but yeah, they were actually, you might as well say that Planned Parenthood had a side business, that these aborted children, babies, they just don't even acknowledge as being children or human beings. They just basically proclaim them tissue matter. So that makes it valid. And I remember Rush saying they would take hearts, livers, and other things from these babies. And some of these babies are born, even if they're born prematurely because of the way they've been removed from the womb. The parts are definitely salvageable. And the child, obviously, because, it's just an unborn infant, has no say in the matter of, oh, yeah, you can donate my body parts. It's all right. They have no say in it. So, oh, and here's the other one. Somebody posted, and it's about India. It was actually just a thing. It was on right-wing news. It was posted. It says India has 1.27 billion people. 4 million of them earn less than $1.25 a day. So I got that wrong. I am correcting myself now. Yet every single voter in India has a voter ID. I kind of twisted a different direction, but they have a voter ID. Democrats in the U.S. call that voter suppression. So there is two sides to that. They are, I think it's just, the poorer countries or just people that have no responsibility to seem to procreate. I mean, the real reason that poor countries procreate because the survival rate of children is much lower than in a more industrious country. That's like a fact that I don't have anything in front of me to back it up, but it's the truth. That if you live in a poor country, yeah, the birth rate's going to be higher, but also the death rate's going to be higher yet. So it's just basically it's survival of the fittest. And the way that happens is for, if a family has 4 or 6 children, most likely only 2 of them, I'm hypothetically speaking now, maybe 2 of them might actually survive to adulthood. So again, it's just a matter of survival. It's just it's a natural animal/human instinct. You want to basically survive. You want your race to survive. So I'm looking for this article. I thought I put it up, and it was pretty gruesome. They found remains of Holocaust victims that were basically used for experiments. And for some reason, it didn't go on my Facebook page. I did push it, though. But now I don't see it. So I'm going to have to see if I can pull that up now. Hopefully. And, yeah, I don't see it anywhere. But, yeah, that's another one of those kind of really sad stories that, you know, and that's another thing, you know, with World War II, that was less than probably, I would say, let's see, it's 2015, it happened 1942, so I'm going to do my math out loud, 52, 62, 72, 82, 92, 2002, you're talking almost 70 years ago, and nobody seems to make a fuss about that. But they do make a fuss about things that happen a lot further back and actually aren't as bad as what the media and you know, the public make it out to be. That one story I did read the other day was from my Fox Philly News. I mentioned this earlier about the two African-American brothers, and it says, police double date set up with Facebook ends in armed robbery. So I read that the other day, and it basically says, how about a double date, dinner, movie, and a gun to the face? So people like that, when I mentioned that earlier, are treated as their victims, and they're well respected, and nobody thinks twice about saying anything wrong about them. But yet for me, it's like I am the most evilest person in the world, and I should be reprimanded for anything I think. You know, it's like Brave New World. Like, I should not think even to myself. I shouldn't even have that thought in my head, because that's wrong. One story that did get posted, I wish I had that one with the Nazi remains, or the remains not of Nazis, but of Jews that were basically experimentation, you know, the bodies that they had just discovered recently. I don't know where I saw that, though. Anyway, there was one on the Dreamin' Demon. It says, Paul Pelton charged after filming dying teen posting video into Facebook. That's looks like Lauren, Ohio. Paul Pelton facing a criminal charges after the 41-year-old decided not to help two dying teens who had just been in a car crash, but rather filmed it on his cell phone and then posted it on Facebook. Really smart, dude. Really smart. I couldn't imagine myself doing that. A friend sent me this, and it was from a conservative post. It is actually pretty funny. Probably won't read it, though. I'll read the title, though. It's hilarious. Muslim mayor of Rotterdam tells Islamists to fuck off and pack your bags and leave on live television. The mayor of this ethnically diverse European city has earned the praise of London Mayor Boris Johnson after expressing his disapproval with the felon Muslims who had failed to appreciate the freedoms enjoyed in the Western world, telling them to pack their bags. And there's a little bit more, but that's on my Facebook page. It was really cool. I thank the friend who sent that. That was a friend named Thomas. Yeah, the stories I want aren't actually did not get posted. I got some stupid one from myfoxphilly.com, and it's sketches of 3 African Americans rape and robbery suspects along McNicholas. Search for men who robbed and raped couples. Detroit, Michigan, of all places, it says Detroit, Michigan. Police are looking for a gang of men who have been robbing and raping people in Detroit. Investigators say that what is so disturbing about these instances is that none of the victims were alone when they were attacked. So that's pretty interesting. There's a little bit more, but I'll let it go. Let me see if I can kind of make it a little less, less intense as I've done so far. So here's a lighter story on my mix. Moviepilot.com. The unbelievable present day value of these 1490s, the 1990s toys totally validates my hoarding. When Beanie Babies were all the rage, the one thing I recall everyone was talking about and how they would be worth some money someday. So it goes on about that, but it then says, check out these 90s toys that will make you remember fondly and yearn for the good old days, while kicking yourself for getting rid of them. I had some stuff. I had like an old G.I. Joe doll. I had a Fonzie doll. I had the Evel Knievel doll, and I actually threw all that stuff out. I actually destroyed them probably too. I even had the Bionic Man, and that's worth a lot of money. The one that like had latex or like rubber on the arms, you could take out mechanical parts from the $6 Million Man. I had all that. Steve Austin, I think, was the character. Anyway, number one was the original Super Soaker, being sold now for $279. One I wouldn't buy is the second one. Easy Bake Oven, being sold for up to $327. Number three, Polly Pocket. It is now worth over $1,000. Original black and white Game Boy handheld. I think everybody had one of those at one point. It is now valued at, I guess if it's in mint condition, $1,800. Talk Boy, being sold now for $300. That's number 5. Number 6 is My Little Pony, being sold for $1,600, over $1,600, almost $1,700. Sega Genesis, if you have an original Sega Genesis, it's in mint condition, worth $900. Mario Kart N64 is now worth being sold for $17,000 for the game cartridge. And I wonder, actually, Sean's got some dirt on there. Beauty and the Beast VHS. Well, any Disney movie, you definitely want to buy them when they're out because they only release them for so long and then they take them out of print for like 50 years or 20 years, whatever, and then they put them out again. But by that point, they're worth a lot. That being said, Beauty and the Beast VHS is worth $500. Pokemon cards looks like something like $70,000, depending on what card you have. It says Illuge, like it's like Illustrator, but it's like Illusionator or something is the card. Let's see if it does give the name. This says Pokemon cards, but then it gives you a specific card. Number 11 is the Black Lotus Magic of the Gathering. That card is worth about $19,000. Number 12 is a 1992 Hot Wheels Silver Jaguar. That is worth actually almost $2,000, about $1,900. Crossfire game. I think I remember that game. 1994 edition is being sold for over $100. That was number 13. Number 14, Puppy Surprise. They're worth $435. Never heard of them. So that was the list. Pretty cool. Got to break it off from all the tension I've been putting, I think, in my things, my stories. Yes, my Fox affiliate, going back to more doom and gloom. Woman tries to buy antifreeze to kill dog. That was on Fox Philly. Houston, Texas. One woman plots to poison dog but gets thawed when her cashier won't sell her antifreeze. So this woman was trying to buy antifreeze to kill her dog, and for some reason something rose a red flag for this cashier. And it looks like this place looks like a place, like it's an automotive part place called O'Reilly. Okay, it says definitely something you won't hear every day. A woman willingly says she's buying antifreeze specifically to kill a troublesome dog. In this instance, it was caught on a cell phone video. So the woman actually said, oh, yeah, I'm buying antifreeze to kill an unwanted dog. Maybe it's her dog, maybe it's a neighbor's dog. I'm not going to read anymore. I just thought it was kind of entertaining. If you want to see something really cool looking, actually. Yeah, like, I mean really cool. I'm not even joking. It's, like, awesome looking. Really, really nice pictures. And it is on Mashables.com. And you're probably saying, what the hell are you talking about? And look on my Facebook page, and it says underwater graveyard full of World War II planes is otherworldly. So the pictures are just incredible looking. These are really nice pictures. Even a picture of a plane with a military jeep underneath the ocean floor that is now like homes. All these planes are homes for like these underwater dwellers, I guess, the fish and other creatures that live underneath the sea. It's really cool, though. The pictures are incredible looking. Another story is from Daily.com. Alabama man shoots his TV because he's sick of hearing about Caitlyn Jenner. I think everybody's sick of it. So, Caitlyn Jenner is back in the spotlight after she received, I got it right the first time, the Arthur Ashe's Courage Award at the ESPY Wednesday night. But for one man, it was just the last straw. It says Jenner, who came out as a transgender woman in April, received plenty of backlash ever since ESPN announced that she would receive the award. Alabama resident Bobby Knight has had enough of her, and he wants to remove his portion of garbage from his life. So they show a video. The man takes his TV, and he basically has a picture of Caitlyn Jenner on there, and he basically, I guess, destroys it. Not exactly the smartest thing to do, but it's funny. There was a story, I might have read this before, but it's getting not enough press, I guess, about Kate Steinhell. I apologize. This poor woman got killed. Yeah. Let me just read it first. It's on BrettBart.com, and I probably didn't say it because I wasn't on yesterday. Exclusive. Americans shouldn't be subsidizing sanctuary cities. On July 1st, the rest of the country was preparing for a long holiday weekend, while 32-year-old Kate Steinhell was gunned down while going for a walk with her dad. So, yeah, it's just the bottom line is that nobody in the government has acknowledged her death, and she was killed by some illegal immigrant, and it still hasn't got any notice and any acknowledgement, except if you look at the conservative websites, and that's a shame. This woman got killed. This innocent woman got killed from an illegal immigrant, and yet we got these left wing wackos who are saying that you shouldn't treat these illegals as criminals because they're not. But they are. It was an accident, the gunman says. I found the gun, he says. The gunman was an illegal alien with 7 felony convictions and had been deported from America 5 times. Undeterred by American immigration laws, he kept returning, and it's hard to see why. During the recent arrest just 2 months prior to the shooting and killing of Kate, Francesco Sanchez was in federal custody. He was in federal custody. San Francesco authorities asked for U.S. Immigration and Custom Enforcement to hand Sanchez over for drug charges. ICE did just that on the condition that they would let Sanchez go. Local authorities would hand him back over to ICE. And you look what happened. This woman got killed. So that's what the thing is. You got to let these illegals go. You're holding them for no valid reason, apparently, but yet when you let them go, the first thing they do is they kill somebody. So this is a different story I'm going to read now. My Fox Philly. Video, 3-time world champion surfer attacked by shark. This is getting out of hand with these sharks, though. South Africa professional surfer Mick Fannin is an incredible lucky man. He's an incredible lucky man. While taking part in the World Surf League JB's Open in South Africa, he came into crosshairs with a shark on the prow. So, there's a video too. This is like, there's been multiple shark attacks around the globe. I don't know, and more so around in the United States. So, I might leave that as my last story because I think I read everything else. I might have missed one. Caught my attention. This is on Dreamin' Demon. I might have already actually I don't think I did, though. It's titled Teen Murder 12-Year-Old Neighbor Callie, I can't pronounce the last name, after luring her from home. West Valley City, Utah police say the 15-year-old boy murdered a 12-year-old Callie after her body left her body in a horse pasture after luring a girl from her home. There's some really weird stuff going on. But yeah, that story, by the way, was on the Dreamin' Demon. I haven't read anything from the Dreamin' Demon in quite a while, but yeah, some young kid just got killed by getting lured out of her house. I wasn't going to read this. This looks pretty funny, though. It's probably just a video. Yeah, it is. Yeah, this is something you have to watch. Friend sent it to me on break.com, and it says, bring yo stick. It actually says, yo. Bring yo stick. This is why you should never snort bath salts. And it's some guy, I don't know. I assume it's a guy. Or it looks like a woman, actually. I assume she's got her selfie stick, and she's snorting bath salts, and she rolls under a car. And it looks like a moving car, too. So, yeah, there's some really intelligent people out there. I can't apologize enough. I thought that story, actually, I linked to my Facebook page, went up, about the finding remains of people that were from World War II, victims of the Holocaust that they found the bodies of, that they were actually victims of being experimented on, their body remains. Somebody had posted this. There is actually some stuff I might look at. It just states, it's one of these things you put on your Facebook page. It's like one of these funny sayings. The fact that there is a highway to hell and only a stairway to heaven says a lot about anticipated traffic numbers. I don't actually get that either. There is one on myfoxphilly.com that's caught my attention. 2-year-old Dallas girl dies after being left in hot car. Little girl. Dallas, Texas, police investigating the death of a 2-year-old girl after she had been left in a hot car by her parents on Friday, approximately 6:50 p.m. The DPD Child Abuse Unit received a call from an off-duty officer who was working an extra job at Medical City Hospital regarding the deceased child, a little African-American girl, really cute kid. But she was left in her car by her parents, and now she is deceased. Okay. Another story I'd like to read. Daily Mail. Florida toll booth worker, 77, gets fired after 30 years on job for paying drivers $5 tolls. This man was terminated by Baco Gran maybe that's his name. It looks like Baco Gran was terminated from his job. Undercharged trailer drivers and made up for the difference himself. So this man was definitely very nice, and he got fired for being too nice. So, I am sorry for the dead space, but yeah, this man, I guess, felt compelled to, basically take money out of his own pocket to pay for tolls for certain people, which was very nice, but he got fired for that. The 77-year-old veteran was fired from his job working at a Florida toll booth after his superiors asked him to take a reduced role when they found out that he paid drivers $5 tolls out of his own pocket. Well, I don't know what the problem is, but apparently you're not even allowed to do that. I mean, the man was taking money out of his own pocket. I got to take a swallow real quick. I'm sure he did it for people that, if they were short. I don't know, you could read the article. Or maybe they were like vets or something. He felt like, because he was a vet, maybe he felt, I'm assuming at this point, compelled like, hey, you know what, I'm gonna don't worry about it. I'll just pay for your toll. I mean, that's nice of him. I don't know how the man survived how he lived if he's paying for everybody's tolls, or a lot of people's tolls. But yeah, they fired him over that. It's not like they were losing money. And maybe it made the man feel better about himself. I don't know. Somebody actually put a funny thing on. I stole it from somebody else's webpage. And it's a cartoon or a picture of a rabbit. And he's got tied around his waist on a keychain. He's got a keychain tied around his waist, this rabbit in this picture. A human foot, and it says it's for luck. So the rabbit, it's like a reverse of having a lucky rabbit's foot. He has a lucky human foot. Yeah, here's another story I pulled up. I don't know if it's going to open up, though. Oh, yeah, here we go. It's myfoxphilly.com. Mom arrested after teen overdoses on heroin. This was in Florida. Mother won't be getting any nominations for Mother of the Year after deputies say her 15-year-old son had overdosed on heroin. This woman looks like she's 5 times older than me, and she's a year younger than me. Cynthia Heyer, 47, was arrested for child neglect with great bodily harm by Sarasota County Sheriff's Office on Tuesday. Deputies and paramedics found her son unconscious at their home in the 6900 block of... Sorry, I can't read that. Manalo Boulevard on July 3rd. The teen was saved and has since been treated for release by Doctors Hospital. From Doctors Hospital. So anyway, I'm going to go down to the very end. But it says both the mother and Johnson, I assume that's probably the child, because it says Ann Johnson, are being held. Well, maybe it's somebody else. Maybe I should read. Anyway, yeah, if you want to look at this, it's just titled Cynthia Heyer, and basically she was held on $50,000 bond. So, I don't know. Oh, another funny picture. The pictures are worth 1,000 words anyway. It does have words on there. And this is from somebody's website that I had stolen it from, Steven Reinhardt. And it says, it has a picture of a little girl and a house on fire in background. And it's titled, "They Burned My Flag Because It Offended Them." This little girl's got a smile on her face. And it's underneath that, it says, "I didn't like their shutters." So she burns down the house. I think that was hilarious. This is like one of these probably anti-liberal things, but I still liked it. It said, yes, I know, I just said that. What isn't a cigarette? It's another picture thing I put up. Now, these went up, but I got to take a swallow again. But that one on the Holocaust victims did not go up on my Facebook page. That's kind of ironic. Anyway, it says, what's in a cigarette? Butane, a lighter fluid, hexamine, barbecue lighter, acetane acid vinegar, nicotine, insecticide, methanol, rocket fuel, some type of sterile acid, candle wax, some type of industrial solvent, because now they're getting that I can't read them, ammonia, toilet cleaner, methane, sewer gas, arsenic, poison, and carbon monoxide. I thought it was pretty funny because I don't smoke. Anything that I don't do, I'm going to find funny. Not a very good story. DailyUKMail.com. And it says, schoolgirl 10 barred from boarding her bus home by the driver who refused to accept her £10 note because it was wet. Mia Worms was trying to get home from school on the bus in Birmingham. Driver wouldn't accept her £10 note for the £1.20 journey because it was wet. She was rampaging in her backpack for change, but was 40 pence short. Sister arrived with ticket, but he... Yeah, it says, why he? It says, sister arrived with ticket, but he then rejected that for being too crumbled. So, okay, so the little girl's sister arrived to pay for her school thing, her bus fare. It was like, a regular bus, so not a school bus, obviously. And the bus driver didn't want to even take the sister's money because the money was crumbled. First it was wet, and then it was crumbled. So, I don't know. I'm always saying that a lot. I realize that. Really disappointed I didn't have that one story. Sorry, it got my attention. Funny, put on my Facebook page. Loch Ness Monster Hunter concludes it's most likely a catfish. Well, I don't know how the Loch Ness Monster lasted since I was a kid, so that's like 48 years I've heard about the Loch Ness Monster, and it's been around before even that. Oh, wait, I did put that story up I was looking for. It was on the Daily Mail, the one I've been crying about it like a grown female man. Anyway, I'm going to take another swallow. The wimpy men that are out there. This is on Daily Mail. Remains of dozens of Jews used for Nazi experiments during the Second World War have found stored at a laboratory in Strasbourg. Many killed in the gas chambers in 1943 before the body parts were taken to a laboratory. Experts thought that they had been buried in a common grave 3 years later. Includes a jar contains skin fragments and bodies cut into pieces. Jewish organizations have called for a full investigation and proper burial. So, but you know what? Once again, that's something that's probably not that important. It's just about basically storing human remains of Jewish people in jars at some laboratory. That's not important, but little frivolous stories that go on in our country are more important or anywhere else around the world. And of course, all the Muslims are, honestly, they're all victims, and we need to apologize for representing them and calling them terrorists. I mean, that's more important. So, this was I'm going to go to another story. I would recommend, because that one I've been talking about for a while, that I think people need to look at, and that one I'm going to read it again. That's how important I think it is. Daily Mail. Remains of dozens of Jews used for Nazi experiments during the Second World War have been found stored at a laboratory in Strasbourg. So, yes, that is something that should raise a flag. Maybe even a Confederate flag. I don't mean that, but you know what I mean. Anyway, BrettBart.com, Obama's secretive gun ban for Social Security beneficiaries. In the latest backdoor gun control effort put forward by the White House, President Obama is pushing to ban gun possessions for Social Security beneficiaries who are capable of handling their own finances. Well, that could be good or bad. I mean, obviously it's bad because if you're a senior, yes, you want to be able to protect yourself. But it's going to come back to maybe bite him in the ass if you think about it, because why is that? You're probably thinking. Well, you got also, which they're probably illegally holding guns in their possessions. You got also these deadbeats who obviously, I'm going to put deadbeats, don't take it the wrong way, but people who basically just live off of government welfare, not seniors, not people that are incapable working for one reason or another, or that are trying to think of the correct word, or are, got some disability of some sort, mental or physically. It's gonna also probably affect, my assumption is also these people who just, they think it's good to be basically like a hood or something, like some type of domestic, trash or something. I don't know how else to put it, so I apologize because I don't like to come off to be some arrogant, pompous ass. I'm not trying to do that. So, yeah. And by the way, I just want to go back, and again, I wanted to thank, and I really want to use a lot of stuff as Karen's stuff. Got to make sure I get her name right. Because I want to end the show at least with that. Look at my sent mail. Yeah, Karen Straughan, please look at her stuff. She's a very, very nice woman. Very intelligent, very, very intelligent, and I recommend you check her links out. I'm going to actually try to put a link on my Facebook page. And also Diana Davison, she's really good. And you can find her stuff on YouTube. I was going to say Facebook. So other than that, everyone, I hope you have a good day. What remains of it, because this Sunday is going so freaking quickly at this point. And I am signing off because I'm just getting really hot with all this electronic stuff on. So everyone, have a good night. I'm signing off.